Good morning. My name is Robert Stanley. It's July 13th, and this is my week 6 part 2 assignment. This week we're going to be inletting the trigger assembly, the guard assembly, the trigger guard assembly, and then I will be shaping the end of the stock kind of so that way it marries up perfectly with the butt plate. There is some hangover. So this week we're going to be inletting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this trigger in here real quick, and I can kind of get this showed in over to you. So right now, if I were to place the trigger in, this actually sits pretty flush. It goes in easy, but not too easy, and it actually kind of comes out pretty good. So honestly, in my opinion, for this trigger assembly, I have no inletting that actually needs to be done. I feel like that the stock at the manufacturer was done correctly. So with this, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and try and screw down this trigger assembly from the top here, because the first screw, one of the screws has to go through your barrel and all the way down into the trigger assembly. So go ahead and insert that in here and see what we got. And there you actually have it. It is, I have probably about 2 or 3 threads, maybe four threads into the actual trigger assembly from the top. But what I'm going to do from here is I'm actually going to take my little screw that I got here, and I'm going to go ahead and mark this with the screw, just so I have a nice little spot here to go ahead and drill. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to drill this hole in, and I'm going to secure the screw into the stock, and I'll be right back. Alright, welcome back. Quick, easy. Got my screw in here into the bottom portion of the trigger assembly. So from here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to set in my handguard assembly, or my trigger guard assembly, and see how this falls into place. So my handguard assembly, I have a feeling and I'm gonna have to inlet this, so I'm gonna take a small break, pause this video. I'm gonna shave away some of the wood. A lot of the shaving that I'm going to have to do on this is going to be on the sides, here, on both sides of, and both ends of my trigger assembly. So what I'm going to do, I ran out of inlet fluid because it kind of spilled all over the place. So I'm going to use, out of the fluid that I have, but I do have some brush on inlet fluid, or layout fluid, not inlet fluid, but layout fluid. So I'm going to go ahead and see if this will do the job. If it will, we'll go from there. But I will be shaving away some wood in the handguard, or the trigger guard assembly. So I'll be back. All right, welcome back. I was actually pretty quick. So as you can see here, and let me unscrew this from my holder. So, but Here's my handguard assembly, or my trigger guard assembly. I'm sorry. And there it is. Roughly installed. The screws aren't in yet, but it kind of comes in and comes right on out. There's no real pressure needed to push it down. No real pressure to pull it out either. So what I'm gonna do from here, I'm gonna go ahead and get the holes drilled for this, and I'll be right back again. So I'm gonna go ahead and install this trigger guard assembly, and from there we're gonna go ahead and start reshaping the butt stock of this rifle to match up with the butt plate. So give me a few minutes. Alright, so welcome back. I got my trigger guard assembly in. The screws that came with the kit didn't suffice as far as securing it down. These little screws, little brass screws, I don't feel like they were adequate enough to secure the trigger guard down. So what I did, and this is a temporary thing, I am going to go out and get some brass screws to match this, but because those screws, these two screws were too small in length, after drilling the hole, marking and drilling the hole, getting it threaded out, the trigger guard assembly was still falling off because I was only getting maybe one thread in, and I could just pull off. So what I did to get it secured in, you can see here I have two silver screws. They're wood screws, and they hold up a lot nicer with the holes. So I went ahead, I altered that a little bit. I won't be using these little brass screws that were given to me, only because, like I said, it's not securing the trigger guard. So, but as you can see here, I mean, I have everything put on. I got my locking mechanism, my trigger. So, and what I'm gonna go ahead and do now that I have the trigger placed in, this does not have any black powder, no round push down the chamber. So I'm gonna go ahead and functions check this. So here we go. I have the lock to the rear, and I'm gonna go ahead and point this down to the ground. There's my click, and there's the trigger pull. So everything works as it should. The trigger mechanism engages with the locking mechanism for the percussion side of it, and as of right now, it functions as it should. I won't really know until I get some black powder poured down in this and take it out for a true test fire. But for right now, this does work. So we're gonna go from there. The next thing that we're gonna be doing is the butt stock here. So as you can see here on the butt stock, I have some wood along here and down into here that does not match up with the butt plate. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to take some files. I'm probably going to take with assistance of my electric handheld sander, and we're going to get this married up properly to where the butt plate and the butt stock look like one piece. So give me several minutes, and I'll get working on that, and I'll come back, and hopefully when I come back, everything will be married up and sanded down properly. So see you soon. All right, welcome back. I have my buttstock sanded, filed, chiseled. I had to do quite some work to this, but as you can see here, I have the buttstock is basically formed to the butt plate now. I do have a high spot right here still that I will be working out. But right now, I think I'm gonna leave it there. Currently, right now, I do plan on adding some checkering designs to this. So I will be chiseling away and cutting away some more wood. So this will eventually be 100% flush. But right now, I mean, I can live with that high spot right now. On here, I still have a high spot here, a little bit of a high spot, but as you can see, it basically conforms to the butt plate now. So with that, I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. I still have some sanding, still have some chiseling to do, but for the most part, the buttstock is now conform to the butt plate itself. Again, some high spots that can be worked out. So, but other than that, I will be, this will be the end of this video. Excuse me. So, but there you have it this week. I inletted the trigger assembly, the trigger guard assembly with modified screws to hold it down, and the buttstock conforming to the butt plate. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see y'all next week.